Let me ask you a question. Are you building a personal brand or a sales funnel? The other day I went down on an Ed Lorenz binge. I wanted to understand how he thinks about content, YouTube strategy, and building profitable YouTube channels. But after watching 4 hours of his content, I noticed something strange. Nowadays, the build a personal brand online advice is so popular. Everyone is literally being told to build a personal brand. But the funny thing is that most of these personal brands are neither personal or they are neither brands. They are simply just sales funnels. He kept repeating to people to make content that's fully aligned with the offer and to publish literally nothing else. No lifestyle content, no vlogs, no passion projects, no interviews, podcasts, not anything that's not literally aligned with the offer. He doesn't actually teach people how to monetize their personal brand. He actually teaches them how to build a YouTube sales funnel. And here is the problem. If you always just make content around selling and around your offer, you won't be building a loyal audience and a personal brand. You simply just build a sales funnel. But some of you might ask, why is that a problem? Let me explain. If you make your whole channel just around a simple offer you are selling, then once you make a shift to your offer, once you decide to sell something else, just target slightly something else, you technically need to start over. You can technically throw away your personal brand. And you have to throw your personal brand away because it wasn't a personal brand in the first place. It was simply just a marketing channel for your current offer. And I guess you don't want that. And this is where the longevity problem comes in. You build up what you think is a personal brand, but it's not personal, it's just a sales funnel. And so while you might make some sales, once you make some change, or when you change as a person yourself, you can technically throw everything away. Because it wasn't truly a personal brand. It was just a business sales funnel with your name on it. Okay, so if you choose to build a personal brand and not just a sales funnel, where do we turn? Luckily, Danko offers a solution to it. He says, be yourself, share your ideas, be authentic, and the money will show up. Which I have to give it to him is beautiful and persuasive, because us humans have a need to be seen and accepted, so this message resonates with a ton of people. But the truth, it's way too idealistic. I hate to be that guy, but Dan's message is actually just some top of the funnel marketing strategy to pull in as many viewers into the idea of personal branding as possible. Inside his course, it's actually just templates and engagement hacking, which is kinda the opposite of what he preaches. And if you follow his strategy, you might even end up with some loyal fans, with some viewers, if you just follow your passion, follow your curiosity. But the truth is, it will be crazy hard to monetize and potentially even impossible to monetize and make money from your personal brand. The same reason both fails is because both ignore the other half. You need sales to survive, but you also need brand equity to last. So what about a new paradigm, where you still get sales, but you still can be authentic and show up as yourself? Where content feels authentic and you actually make more money than all of those two combined, and we still keep the idealized passion projects in mind. But before I reveal the third option, let me walk you through a thought experiment. What if you could choose between two mentors? Mentor A is a billionaire, and over the next 1 year, he will help you build a successful business. Mentor B is Elon Musk, and over the next 1 year, he will dedicate 1 hour of his time for you to help. Which one would you choose? If you are anything like me, you probably actually choose the Elon Musk example. But why? It's a little bit tricky one, right? Because in the digital marketing online space, we are simply being told that what people are paying for is simply a transformation to go from point A to point B. You give me X money, I will help you go from where you are to where you want to get to, and that's it. And the longer I'm in this space, I'm realizing that that might not be the full picture. It might not be that people are just paying for coaching, consulting, or anything in the digital marketing space to just go from point A to point B. But so many times they are also paying for a piece of the creator. They want a piece of the creator's worldview. They want proximity. So when people purchase from you, they don't just want a transformation. They want a piece of you, your philosophy, your worldview. Because deep down, if they choose to buy from you, they probably want to be more like you. But the digital marketing space doesn't really talk about this. Sometimes just spending 1 hour a week around the person you want to be around the most is potentially more valuable than getting a transformation from A to B. And I would say it's way more valuable. So why I was sharing this? Because both the Denko and the Ed Lorenz approach just ignore this truth. They don't realize that the reason most of you and most of me purchase from creators, the reason you decide to buy Sam Owen's, Charlie Morgan's, Ryan Doris's course is not because you simply just want to make 10k a month or become more productive. You actually want a piece of them, a piece of their world. And just by them teaching you that information or being around those people, you feel like you are becoming more like them. So I hope you can see why the Ed Lorenz's approach doesn't really work here, because it kinda ignores the fact that even if you make content that doesn't sell right now, that content can deepen relationship with your viewers. And when you deepen relationship, they want to work with you more because they have a personal relationship with you. And I think that's something that we have to keep in mind as creators. But I think you guys now are pretty interested in what's this third path. What is this third path that's more profitable, but also more fun than the previous ones? I call it the profitable personal brand framework. And it's actually built on a pretty simple idea. Make content you actually enjoy creating, but frame it through the lens of your offer. That's the simple principle or framework I kinda view content creation to. Because people will just build a sales funnel. Over time, they will just hate creating content. And the Denko just be yourself people, just be the starving artist. So technically, you still want to create content that you love to create. But if you just frame it through the right lens, they will actually drive sales too. Here's how it works in practice. If you film a boat trip with your friends, the sad truth is probably most of them won't care about it. And it won't make sales either. But if you reframe it through your offer, and let's say you title it something like "Why relaxing makes you richer," like this video right here, then suddenly you tied it back to something your viewers care about, which is getting richer. And now you kinda also make the video about partially include some stuff around that, but suddenly, no, you can make your boat trip video, but still get sales and still frame it as something your viewers want. That's the hidden engine of this framework. You are creating stories, sharing frameworks, and talking about stuff you enjoy, but you shape them to build beliefs that makes the viewers actually want to buy. So why does I personally enjoy this more than the other two? So first of all, it's more sustainable, because if you are making content you actually truly enjoy, then that means you actually will be going and creating content for longer. We see so many content creators and entrepreneurs just burn out from content and stuff for months or years, and they say they quit. Because the truth is they were probably being forced to create content they hate. And probably, if I would have to guess what happened, one of their videos went viral, and now they started making similar content. And then one video went viral, they started making even similar content to that new viral video. And a year later, they ended up at a place where they were creating content around topics that were getting a lot of views, but they kinda hated to talk about those topics. They had zero passion towards them. So this method is actually very sustainable because you are still sharing your stories, you are still sharing stuff that you personally love. Secondly, it's authentic. Because I'm sharing my personal stories and I'm including those lifestyle content and those things and framing it through a lens that they actually care about, no, the viewers actually come and watch those videos, but on top of that, It actually builds loyalty, it actually deepens relationship, and when I share these type of pieces of content, it actually nurtures the audience. And third, it's profitable, because every piece of content is framed through the lens of the current offer. It indirectly sells the offer. I don't exactly have to talk about personal brands or video editing. I can talk about time management and tie it back to video editing. The other day I just made a video about building systems because that was something I was obsessed with, and I went on a boat trip and I tied back the boat trip and the building the systems to personal branding. I titled the video how to systemize your personal brand. So now I framed the video about something the viewers and my audience cares about, but I still was able to include my passion and the stuff I was interested in that period of time. But once you learn how to create content that's both authentic and profitable, there is still one thing that will make or break your results, and it is trust. You can have the best framework, the best strategy, the nicest videos, but if your audience doesn't trust you, they simply won't buy. And right now, trust is at an all-time low. So in this video right here, I actually break down how to build trust, everything I know about building trust, and how to generally make content that builds trust instead of destroying it. So see you there.